Hey, so I want to talk about something because a few months ago I shared my opinions on Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and now that more information has been made available to the public, I want us to revisit that conversation because I want to know something to any of the black women who've participated in any of the protests or anything like that. If you were one of those black women who contributed to Kenneth Walker's GoFundMe, Kenneth Walker was Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. If you had known the full backstory behind what happened that night, would you have contributed to his GoFundMe? Understand something. According to his own statements in the police interview, when they heard the knocking at the door, Breonna gets up. She leaves her bedroom to go answer the door. Kenneth Walker follows her out of the bedroom. Okay, so the way the apartment is set up, she's like in the hallway walking towards the door. He acknowledged that he was kind of behind her and off to the side. He then says that once he hears the door being kicked in, he fires his gun and then drops down to the ground. And he said that the reason that Breonna ended up being shot by the cops is because she was in their direct line. Okay? Because imagine, you're going to answer your door. The police barge in. He shoots. You're directly kind of in the hallway in front of the door. You're going to take all the shots because he's off to the side hiding behind the couch after he's fired his gun. If you had known that and had not had this story that made it sound like, oh, Breonna Taylor was in bed sleeping and, her boyfriend thought someone was breaking in and so he fired his weapon to protect her. If you had known what the real story was, would you have put over $200,000 in that man's GoFundMe when her own mother couldn't get enough money raised to help with her funeral expenses? When Kenneth Walker had $200,000 plus in his GoFundMe, Breonna Taylor didn't even have $10,000 in hers. Would you have given him a penny if you had known that after everything that took place in the apartment that night, and Breonna is clinging on to life after being shot 8 times by the cops, when he's taken outside of the apartment and questioned by the police, and the police ask him, hey, who fired the gun at us? And he tells the police, oh, it was Breonna, and did not admit that he was the one that shot at them until they had done their investigation and they find the gunpowder residue on him and they find gunpowder residue on his hands, and they're like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Shouldn't be anything gun related on you because Breonna's the one who got shot, and according to you, she's the one who fired at us, so she should be the ones with gunpowder on her hands. Then he admitted, well, I was afraid, and so that's why I lied. The recorded police interview is out there. If you want to hear it, I will put the link to the first video I did where I actually played the police recording, where you can hear his interview, where you can hear him admitting to lying. If you had had all of that information, would you have contributed to his GoFundMe? Would you have been out there protesting? Would you have viewed him as a reliable witness? Would you have believed him when he said, well, no, the cops didn't announce themselves? Because what woman goes to answer the door at like midnight when someone's banging on the door? right? And if you're really going to answer the door and you're afraid, you got a man in the house with the gun with you. Wouldn't you stay in the bedroom and let him go answer the door? Just asking. I have some questions about George Floyd. Listen, the full body camera footage has been released. If you had known that he did resist arrest, and that if you had known that he had said, "I can't breathe" several times before he was on the ground, anytime they attempted to put him in the back of the police vehicle, he said, "I'm claustrophobic, I can't breathe." If you had known that, would you have possibly understood why the cops initially ignored him when he said, "I can't breathe," when he was on the ground? Would you have felt a little bit differently if you had known that he was on the ground? Because when the cops finally got him in the car, he hops out and then says, "Okay, well, can you just put me on the ground?" If you had had that information, would this country have been up in flames for the last couple of months? All I'm telling you is when these stories come out, make sure you have the information. Question the information the way you question other black women when we try to share our thoughts and opinions and share information with you. The way y'all question other black women, start questioning the media and these social justice warriors when they present information to you, and make sure that you have the full story and all of the facts before you hop off the porch with an opinion and start tearing everything up across the country, okay? Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And make sure you also subscribe to my live stream channel. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.